and the state laws in all the 13 colonies and some other colonies, and these laws are still on the record books, that every man between ages 16 and 60 had belonged to the militia. Had owned a good rifle or musket, keep about a pound of lead and powder, at least 4 extra flints for your weapon, and a good tomahawk, knife, bayonet, or sword. Militia was not uniform. You didn't get paid. During time of peace, you at least mustered once a month. If you did not show up for the muster, you could get fined. If you did not have your weapon in good working order, you could get fined. So, but other than that, now after the war, they did pay the surviving militia when they got land grants out what is now Tennessee and Alabama and different states like that. But militia was also the law in the backcountry and also the military rule. Now, as I said, every gun here, there's 2 different types of rifles and muskets. They're all flintlocks, means you have a piece of flint held in by a hammer, and this is on half cock. It's the only safety device on these old weapons. Those things don't go off half cock. I prime it, put some powder in the pan, close the freezer, pour more powder down the barrel, put a bullet in or shot or a combination, take my ramrod out, pack it, and hopefully when I go to full cock, hopefully I'll get enough of a spark off of that. It sets the powder off in the pan, sets the powder off, goes through the touch-hole, sets off in the barrel, and that fire. Then of course got to reload again.
British Brown Bess second model musket, and this would have been used by the British Army, of course, but also by a lot of the Patriot forces, because early in the war we were all British, so to speak, and a lot of the state militias would have been armed with this weapon. It's 75 caliber smoothbore. It's not rifled, so the ball just kind of bounces as it goes down the barrel. So it's not very accurate. It may be as accurate if I'm shooting at that tree right there, but if I'm going to try to hit that tree, I'm probably not going to hit it, okay? That ball is just going to kind of bounce around and go wherever. But that's one reason they fought in the linear formations back then. It was a line just like this. You weren't necessarily aiming at an individual, you were pointing it in the direction of that line. Now this is a military weapon. It's got a full walnut stock. It's a very heavy weapon. This weighs about 9 pounds. Okay, so it is a heavy weapon. You can use this as a club, and it will also accept the bayonet, which was one of the most feared weapons by the Americans early in the war, because Americans weren't really trained to use the bayonet like the British were. Mid-war, later war, the Americans could hold their own, and that's what they did here with a bayonet charge to win this battle. But it's a very nasty weapon. I can demonstrate if anybody will volunteer. Or, no, okay, all right, don't blame me. It inflicts a very, very nasty wound. It's not sharp like a sword would be, but it has a very sharp point, and it's meant for stabbing, and it's got a triangular shaped blade. That type of blade really puts a very nasty wound in you, and it was very hard to stitch it up back then, still is today, but they said that veterans who survived and had bayonet wounds, that the wound would just ooze, you know, never healed up.
And even shorter, it'd be easier to use in the wood. Another weapon they have is rifles. Randall's going to talk about his rifle gun.
How y'all doing this afternoon? Okay, great. Everyone knows the difference between a smoothbore musket and a rifle is that in the barreling, in the barrel of this weapon is rifling that catches the round and spins it and makes it go farther and more accurate, right? Okay. The functionality is the same. This is a hunting weapon. And the major difference is wherein the smoothbore probably has a range, like you were saying, out to 50 yards. This is a much more accurate weapon. And you can hit man-sized targets. The far tree line over there is not going to be too distant at all. Okay, so it's a hunting weapon. It's very slow to load. Okay, when you load this weapon, the process is the same, except where you have a patch that goes around the ball that goes into the muzzle, has to be pressed down and rammed down. So it's going to take significantly longer. It's a tight fit. The patch is made to hold the pressure behind it. You have a good seal, and it launches out more quickly and more accurately. It's used a lot for taking out officers and non-commissioned officers to decapitate the enemy and create chaos on the battlefield. When you had large mass formations, of course, with a weapon like this, it's a lot easier.
About face. Load. Take aim. Fire! Get ready. Take aim. Fire! Load. Cody, make ready. Take aim. Fire! Fire lock. Carry your fire lock. Go to your fire lock. About face. Order your fire lock. You can see the noise of smoke the three weapons gave out. We've only shot 3 times already, the barrels were real hot. You'll see on movies and things, people just keep shooting. Go to a re-enactment, we shoot a lot there to entertain y'all, but if you read the counts, men did not fire that many times. James Collins that fought here wrote in his autobiography that he shot 5 times here. He fought at Kings Mountain, he shot 7 times. People maneuvering around.